Hello. In this work, our aim is to analyze music consumption on online music streaming platforms in order to identify music preferences and listening behaviors associated with individuals who are potentially at risk for depression, and then use this information to predict the risk of depression of an individual. Currently, two studies have been published as a part of this work, and there are more ongoing studies. So the dataset which was prepared for this work consists of data for 541 users from the platform Last.fm who gave their consent for using their music listening history. For each user, we have the entire set of tracks that they listen to for a duration of 6 months as well as 1 year. And for each track, we have the associated timestamps whenever the user listened to the track. We have the associated social tags, where social tags are basically short text labels that can be assigned by users to tracks or artists or albums on platforms like Last.fm. We have also extracted some acoustic features and time varying information from the tracks, and we have artist related information as well. This was all of the data specific to the music listening history. And as for user specific data, we have their K10 scores, where K10 refers to the Kessler Psychological Distress Scale. We have their HUMS scores, where HUMS stands for the Healthy Unhealthy Music Scale, which essentially provides a measure of maladaptive usage of music. So K10 and HUMS serve as a measure of the risk of depression. And we also have the user's Ocean Personality scores. One important thing to note here is that this data has been obtained from a naturalistic setting, that is from the user's everyday lives, as opposed to a controlled lab-based setting or data that is self-reported by participants. So this data has higher ecological validity. The first study, which was done as a part of this work, that is the tag to risk study, focuses on mining information from social tags for tracks. So other features like acoustic features were not considered here. These tags were used to quantify what kinds of emotions and genres are prevalent in each user's listening history. For example, how much does a user listen to sad songs or happy and upbeat music and so on, and emotion preferences were modeled using the Geneva Emotional Music Scale, that is the GEM scale. Two groups of users were formed based on their K10 scores, the at-risk group of users who are potentially at risk for depression, and the no-risk group, which constitutes the control group. Statistical testing was done to identify which genres and emotions are more prevalent among at-risk users as compared to no-risk users. According to the results, emotions such as sadness and tenderness and genres such as neo-psychedelic dream pop and indie alternative pop rock were found to be more prevalent in the music listened to by at-risk users. These genres, especially psychedelic dream pop and shoegaze, they tend to have these sort of otherworldly soundscapes, and perhaps they serve as an escape from reality for at-risk users. The other study, that is static and dynamic measures of active music listening, it looks at how users' music consumption varies with time. So this study used 11 acoustic features obtained using the Spotify API, and it looked at them in a static overall sense and also in a dynamic time varying manner, along with other measures like repetitiveness in the music listening behavior. And for this purpose, the user's listening histories were divided into sessions of music listening. Here it was found that those who are at risk, they have much more repetitive or ruminative listening patterns, and they have a high inertia associated with sadness. That is, they tend to remain stuck listening to negatively valenced music. Now, moving on to some ongoing studies, we are looking at the relation between an individual's gender and their risk for depression, and how this interaction between gender and risk is associated with their music preferences. Specifically, if we look at the music listened to by females who are at risk, then how does that differ from music listened to by males who are at risk? And for this study, both tag and acoustic features are being considered. And according to some preliminary results using only tags, females who are at risk seem to prefer symphonic melodic metal, which is a subgenre of heavy metal music. And Both males and females who are at risk are associated with sadness in the music that they listen to. The other ongoing work makes use of artist preferences to determine the association with depression risk and to predict depression risk. It also looks at the user's exploration scores, that is, whether they seek out and listen to many diverse artists or just listen to a few artists. So, this artist based information was used to predict the risk of depression, and it gave a pretty decent classification accuracy. To conclude, future work includes combining all of these features to build a multimodal system which takes all of this information into account to predict whether an individual is at risk for depression. Thank you.